Newcastle United are plotting a £60 million bid for Bryan Mbeumo, and I think that is the final piece for Newcastle to really start challenging. You look at Isak, Gordon, Bruno G, Tonali, Jolinton, Livramento, Hall. They've got really, really good squad options now, but the one area I have criticised, and I just think they need a little bit more squad depth and a little bit more quality in that final third, is Jacob Murphy's position. Don't get me wrong, Murphy has done actually really well this season. He's got like something like 12 goal contributions in all competitions, but I just think they need something that raises the ceiling a little bit more. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Make sure you have hit that subscribe button. We're steamrolling our way towards 50,000 subscribers, and as it stands, we're about 400 away, I believe, from 43,000. So go down and hit that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts now. Fabrizio Romano announced a couple of days ago that Miggy Almiron will be leaving Newcastle to join Atalanta. It's a confirmed deal. It's done. Here we go. Verbal agreement sealed. Both parties also player side on 4.5-year contract. Fee around $12 million for Almiron. And then yesterday, the club actually announced the departure of Miggy, and they said after 6 years at the club, we can confirm that Miggy Almiron has joined Atalanta United on a permanent deal. Thank you for giving us some incredible special memories, Miggy. Wishing you every success in the future. Thank you, Miggy. And you think, there was that year or two back whenever Jack Grealish made a few comments, and then he went on a very, very good run and was scoring goals at a stupidly high rate. But he's left now, and you look at the front three Newcastle have got, it's pretty much been the same front three now for a long period of time. You got the best number 9 in the league for me in Alexander Isak. You got top quality player in Gordon. And then, of course, you have also got Jacob Murphy. Now, before we get into the actual lots of news, I think it's up to 10 different reports now suggesting that Bryan Mbeumo is Newcastle's main transfer target. And it says Isak, Gordon, the actual report says, well, we'll get into that in a minute, but this is their best 11 for me as it stands right now. Dubravka and Pope, obviously Pope is their number 1, but Dubravka has come in and done a really, really good job. Lewis Hall and Livramento for me is one of the most exciting fullback pairings in the league. 2 young fullbacks of top quality. You got Dan Burn and Shah, and you also got Botman that can come in as well. There's a lot of links out there today linking Lloyd Kelly the move away to Juventus. We'll get onto that shortly. Jolinton, Tonali, and Bruno G. And I think since Eddie Howe has dropped Tonali into the 6th role, other than a shocking defeat against Bournemouth, which no one really saw coming, and fair play to Bournemouth because I think they did deserve that. Other than that, if you look at their recent results, they have been really, really good. They've got a League Cup semi-final, second leg next week as well, when they play, of course, today against Fulham. 2 games that I do think Newcastle can win. And then they've got Gordon, Isak, and Murphy. And the one area of the team I just think they can improve a little bit is Bryan Mbeumo. And Bryan Mbeumo, for me, on that right-hand side, the narrative that, the Arsenal fans believe Alexander Isak is going to be an Arsenal player, I just don't see it. I can see a similar situation where Tottenham held on for Harry Kane for so long. And if Newcastle lift the League Cup this season and get into the top 4, why would he want to leave? He can become the franchise player. Newcastle could put him on north of £200,000 a week, which I don't think they have done, to my knowledge, of any player. But they can show how much they value him. But if they can add a Bryan Mbeumo and show Newcastle, show Alexander Isak that they are prepared to strengthen. They've got a very ambitious coach in Eddie Howe, very ambitious owners, and I'm going to show you a number of different reports. Newcastle make transfer approach to Brentford for 60 million Bryan Mbeumo. End of the window drama as Newcastle test Brentford's determination. Now, I'm going to say this right now. Darren Lewis is a very good reporter, but I'm going to say this right now. I think this, if it does happen, will be in the summer. I think it's very unlikely this will happen in January or February, which should I say now. Newcastle will return in the summer for 60 million forward Bryan Mbeumo after having an approach rejected by Brentford. It then goes on to say the Champions League chasing Magpies are huge fans of a 25-year-old who is enjoying a sensational season in West London, a move earlier this month, but quickly dismissed by the Bees with no intention of surrendering the free scoring forward. Now, just to show you another report, because there is a lot of stuff out there. One Football have also put Newcastle lineup summer move for Brentford ace Bryan Mbeumo, and it says Newcastle United are set to return. It's the same report from the Mirror. The Magpies have tried to sign Bryan Mbeumo this month, but like I said, I think it's more realistic to sign him in the summer. The Daily Express have put Newcastle plot ambitious 60 million bid for Bryan Mbeumo. It goes on to say Darren Lewis and Charlie Parker-Turner. Newcastle looking to bolster attacks in the final days of the January transfer window. Newcastle reportedly interest in Brentford 60 million forward in the. They're all basically suggesting this could be a summer move. Now, you know, I can see that materializing, and if you look at Bryan Mbeumo's actual numbers, they are, you know, very, very, very good. 14 league goals this season. You know, he is Brentford's best player. Him and Wisa are, you know, very, 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 very good. They tick all of the boxes. 23 games, 14 goals, and 3 assists. His record in a Brentford shirt, really, really good. Overall this season, he's played 27 games and got 17 goal contributions. You add that to an Alexander Isak, you add that to a, you know, Anthony Gordon, you add that to a Jacob Murphy, to that well-oiled midfield. You know, you look at his record overall in the Brentford shirt, it is very, very, very good. You know, let me bring that up on screen just so you guys can see that. He's played 121 games in the Premier League for Brentford, and he's got 36 goals and 24 assists. So that's what, 60 goal contributions in 121. In the Championship, he had 41 goal contributions in 86. If you average a goal contribution every 2 games, that's a very, very good return. And if you add him, I think Newcastle will be in and around that top 4 for a couple of years to come. Now, Fabrizio Romano has also given another transfer update saying Juventus have made contact again with Newcastle for Lloyd Kelly as centre-back, looking for a new centre-back on the market. Deal was never done with Kevin Danso, and Lens are not accepting a loan move, with Rennes pushing for a permanent move. I don't think Lloyd Kelly will leave. He's only just, you know, that was actually only an hour or so ago. He's only just joined Newcastle, and I think, you know, as it stands right now, it's very unlikely that he will leave. But, you know, when a team like Juventus comes in, it's very, very difficult to say no. Now, I want to look at Newcastle's next 6 games, because there are some really tough games in here. Liverpool, Forest, Arsenal, and Manchester City. Even today's game is not an easy game. We're really going to find out what Newcastle are made of in the next 6 Premier League games. I actually think they've got what it takes to go to Manchester City and beat them. I comfortably think they'll beat Birmingham, and I think they will get past Arsenal. I am a little bit 50-50 with my prediction today. I do think they can beat Fulham, but Fulham are a very unpredictable side. They went up to Anfield and got a point. They got a point with Spurs. They got a point with Arsenal. They got a point with Chelsea. They actually beat Chelsea at the Bridge. Forest, Liverpool, 2 really tough games back-to-back. They don't have a great record against Liverpool. That Forest game, I think they could beat them and leapfrog them in the league table. But we're really going to see if they do have what it takes to get into the Champions League this season. Because, you know, you look at the Newcastle firepower, and they have 100% got it. But, you know, they just need a little bit more in the tank, and I think they're in a very good position, you know, to get into the Champions League. And if they get past Arsenal, before you know it, they're in a League Cup final. So look, they are in a good position. Like I said, if you look at their recent results, other than that Bournemouth slip up, beat Wolves, beat Southampton, beat Bromley, beat Arsenal, beat Spurs, beat Villa, beat United, beat Ipswich, beat Brentford, You know, there's a very, very good run of games up other than that Bournemouth game. I think it's 1 loss in 12 overall for them. But look, let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you have hit that subscribe button. And I will see you all soon. Thank you for watching. I am